Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked this week. I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have a Onoto, and this is a Cult Pens exclusive Christmas cowl from 2021. We have a Majohn Titanium TI 136. We have an Onoto, and this is the University of Oxford. We have a Visconti, and this is the Empire. We have a Parker Duofold Centennial in the Godron in gold. We have an Onoto Platinum Jubilee in sterling silver. An Onoto Coronation in sterling silver. We have a Montblanc Writer's Edition, and this is the Jules Verne. We have a Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days. And we have a Montblanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up in a little bit more detail. So this is the Cult Pens version of the Onoto Christmas cowl. You'll notice here, if I get it right, that this is only number 9 of 10. So there were only 10 of these made. It's a beautiful pen. It is a Christmas cowl, Charles Dickens pen. You've got this Christmas cowl kind of engraving on there. I do love this pen a lot, and I did say that I was going to buy one, and these were still available. There was only 10 made, but they were still available in the summer sale the following year. So I decided to pick this one up with a steel nib. It's a number 7 size steel nib there, and it's a broad nib. Can you post the cap? You definitely can. It will post quite deeply and securely there. I do like this. I like the pen a lot. I've got a gold shimmer ink inked up in this pen. For me, it's a nice addition to the Onoto clan that I have. Actually, I just turned that terminology. A friend, Jackie, at my pen club that I organise, was actually asking at the time, what are multiples of Onoto? And she was saying Onote, and I'm saying Onotos, but I think a clan of Onotos sounds better. The next pen inked up is a Montblanc Martelet lookalike or clone. It is a Majohn Titanium TI 136. So this is a titanium material hammered. They do a brushed like aluminium style look or titanium look, but I like the hammered edition look more so. It doesn't obviously have the Montblanc snowflake on it. It's a piston filling pen, but they've even copied the ink windows for Montblanc. I try not to go for knockoff pens. This has a lemon nib in. It's not cheap. It was about £137 imported. So you could get a Leonardo with a steel nib for that price. You could get an Esterbrook SD oversize probably for almost that price. Maybe a little bit more. But it's a nice pen, and I wouldn't normally pay this much for a Chinese-made pen. But I like the look so much that I did. I still kind of want some like another one of these, but I don't really want to pay another £137 imported. So I just think that I've got a nice pen here. It writes nicely now that I've modified the nib on it. As I showed you, you can post the cap, but it does, although it posts deeply and securely, it does grip onto that piston knob. So you've got to be a little bit careful there, but it's a decent size in my hand. You can see I do like this pen, I have to say. If there were any Chinese pens I have in my collection that I could say, actually, you know what, I really favourite that pen, it would be this pen. So I think that's probably why I kind of want to buy another one, but I also try to avoid buying duplicates of the exact same pen because there isn't much of a need for it. But if I were to, and I nearly did buy a second one, I probably would ink it up with a red ink, and that's why I kind of think that I could probably pull it off. But I just don't know. Like, I'd rather save that £137 and put that towards another more expensive pen. But it is a nice pen, but it's drawing me in. So you're gonna have to watch this space. Maybe at some point you're gonna see a second one on a currently inked. The next pen inked up is the Onoto, and this is the University of Oxford. You can see the University of Oxford coat of arms there. It's a beautiful, beautiful material. It's a goldish resin, diffusion bonded acrylic that Onoto call it. It really is a beautiful material there, and I really am in awe with this. I don't really know how they make this material. Diffusion bonded means that they pressurize it so much that it kind of like sticks together, so you don't need glue. But there's so much precision in the way these strips are cut. I don't think, at least I don't think that it's in a block and then they carve it out from there. I kind of want to say that they layer it and then just put it around a body of a pen, but again, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Onoto and ask them this when I'm at the London Pen Show again, because that really does intrigue me on how they do that. The nib in here is a number 7 size Onoto 18 karat gold medium nib. It's a cartridge converter pen. Yes, I can post a cap on this as well. I really do like this pen. I did originally want the Shakespeare. This is a very dark blue here, not black. The Shakespeare did have a black, but it was very limited and sold out quite quickly. So I do regret not getting one of those, but I'm sure one will come up on eBay at some point or through another second-hand retailer where I can pick one up in the future. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Empire. I've had this inked up for a few weeks now. Really, really loving how this pen writes. It's a fine nib. I typically don't do that many fine nibs. I'm more of a medium nib guy, but this just writes perfectly. I couldn't ask for this to write any better. It's a lovely blue resin here with streaks running through it, which I kind of want to say is celluloid or cellulose. You don't normally see that in resin so much. And then you've got this filigree overlay here, which is sterling silver plated or vermeil in gold. I've got an original 18 karat gold Visconti Bock nib. It's a fine nib, as I mentioned, but it works. It writes really well. You can post that cap, and you can see those like white swirls going around here. Beautiful, beautiful pen. I love it a lot. I got a really, really good deal on this. I bought it from a collector in the US. I figured I would get charged import tax and duty. I wasn't. Well, I paid a very small amount in comparison, and I have to say that I thought I would pay more. I budgeted for more, but I was very glad when I didn't have to pay that. The next pen inked up is a Parker Duofold Centennial Godron in the gold. Godron is this sort of fluting that's going on here on the material. Beautiful gold pen. I've got one in sterling silver as well. It really is a beautiful pen. You can get these in the international size as well. I prefer the longer, thicker Centennial size. And you've got a Parker Duofold arrow nib there. And you'll see there, it does say F for fine on the feed. It is a cartridge converter pen. You can post the cap as well. It does post fairly securely, not deeply, but you can post it. And the majority of Parker pens, I find that you can post. So for cap posters, definitely keep an eye out. For Onotos, the majority of Onotos can post, and the majority of Parkers can also post as well. So if you are a cap poster, then certainly keep an eye out for those brands, because the chances of you being able to post those caps, I would say, are a good 90% plus, which is good from that perspective. The next pen inked up is the Onoto, and this is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in sterling silver. Really is a stunning pen. Onoto did a lot of good work on this, or shall I say Onoto's artisans, silversmiths, did a lot of good work. It really is a beautiful pen. I picked this up, I want to say, now that's actually annoying me, because I want to say it was June 23, but I have a horrible feeling. I've got to now check my database, because I think it feels like it was 22. But let's have a look, shall we? Jubilee. So we are looking at... No, it was June 23. Wow, I kind of felt that it was more June 22. But I have a number 7 size Onoto medium nib there. These did come with plunger fillers. I've replaced it with a cartridge converter, just a Schmidt K5. I can post the cap on that if I want to, but it is a bit long, a bit back weighted. I'd prefer not posting, to be honest. A beautiful pen though. Likewise with its sibling, which is the Onoto Coronation in sterling silver. Again, Onoto really knocked the ball out of the park here. They really did a beautiful, beautiful engraving here on that pen. That is absolutely stunning. So I'm in awe that I picked up this pen. When I did, again, I picked it up with the Platinum Jubilee. So it was June 23. And it's got an Onoto number 7 size. Actually, did I say medium nib? That's a fine... No, sorry, it's a medium nib. And that one is a medium nib as well. I thought I just saw F for fine there, but no, it is a medium. And again, came with a plunger. I have got a cartridge converter in there now. I can post the cap if I want to, but it's very back weighted. And actually, I should remember actually June 23, because it was March 23 at the pen show. I injured my back, and it's taken about a year to get it back to, I want to say, what it was prior to the injury. I still have pain in my back, and that was, so I picked this up in June 23, and that was what, March, April, May, June. So that was 3 months after I injured my back, and I know I was in a huge amount of pain back then, but I did drive a couple of hours to pick these pens up because I wanted them so much. So that was the amount of pain I put myself through to pick up these pens. The next pen inked up is the Montblanc Writer's Edition Jules Verne. It's got a stunning guilloche under this blue enamel here. Absolutely stunning pen. Second hand, I picked this one up from a friend. Really glad I did. It's got the Jules Verne nib there as well. This was made in 2003. One of the very few Writer's Editions you can post the cap on. So glad that I've got that, but that is hugely back weighted. Again, I wouldn't want to post cap. The weight of this cap alone is very, very heavy. The next pen inked up, a new pen this year. Actually, I want to say most of these are new pens this year, actually. This is the Montblanc, and it's not technically a Writer's Edition, but it's Around the World in 80 Days, written by Jules Verne. But it's a black ebony wood pen here with gold trim. And you do have an elephant there from the story as well. Beautiful material. I love how it's engraved, and you can see there it has a hot air balloon from Around the World in 80 Days. And you've got some nib creep there, or ink. You cannot post the cap on this. well, it will sit there, but it's not going to grip. So I would say that's not a cap posting pen personally. Number 6 size nib there. I got it with a medium nib. Same. All of my Montblanc Writers Editions at the moment are medium nibs. And then the last pen inked up is the Montblanc Writers Edition Jane Austen. And you can see you've got the Montblanc star or mounting cap. And it says, by a lady. You've got the drawstring bag style clip. You've got the waistcoats of the gents. It's a heavy cap. It's a heavy pen. Like a lot of the Montblanc Writers Editions. Number 6 size Montblanc medium nib with Jane Austen silhouette there on the nib. You can't post a cap on this one. Definitely isn't designed to do so. It really will not post. But it's a comfortable pen to write with and a good size. And I have to say that the majority of the Montblanc 146 Writers Editions, I like the look of these quite a few years ago. But what put me off was I had a 140, I still have a 146 just in the black resin. And I find it too thin and too short. But the majority of these Montblanc Writers Editions are actually around a 149 size. They have a 146 size nib, I grant you that. But they are size and weight at least a 149. And this one is even larger than that. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. I think let's now go do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up is the Onoto, and this is a Cult Pens exclusive Christmas Carol. And if you don't know, the Christmas Carol was written by Charles Dickens. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And you can see that this is quite a nice colour ink. It's a glittery ink. So this is the Onoto Cult Pens exclusive. And it's the Christmas Carol. And I think Christmas Carol. And I think it was 2021 that this came out. I've got a broad, I've got a steel nib in there. And then the ink in here is Vinter Whiskey Gold, which is a lovely gold shimmer ink. Which I do have, I want to say, I think I got 4 bottles of that now, because I like that ink a lot. The next pen inked up is the Majohn Titanium TI 136. I wanted to say Montblanc Martelet, but no such luck. I'm on the lookout for one. But until I find one at a reasonable price, this is going to keep me going until that time. So this is the Majohn Titanium TI 136. It is a medium nib, and it is a steel nib. But I have ground that into a bit of an architect grind now. So you can see the slight difference there in the cross strokes. And then the ink in here is Diamine Earl Grey, which is my favourite grey ink. And maybe one day one of the other grey inks is going to take #1 slot. But for the time being, Diamine Earl Grey is the one for me. The next pen inked up is the Onoto, and this is the University of Oxford. And we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is a very light ink, almost yellow, but it's legible. So this is the Onoto University of Oxford. And it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Lamy Mango, which is a very nice mango coloured ink. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Empire. So we'll do an ink swatch. And you can see here that this is a beautiful blue turquoise ink. This is the Visconti Empire, and it's a fine, and it's the original 18 karat gold nibs from Visconti. And the ink in here is Waterman inspired blue, which really has become I want to say my almost my favorite turquoisey colored ink. I've got a few others that I like. Visconti turquoise is one of them, and I'm trying to think of the others. Venusa's Aqua di Spargi is another one, I guess. The next pen inked up is the Parker Duofold Centennial Godron in gold. So we'll do an ink swatch. And this is quite a nice writing nib, although it is a fine nib. This is the Parker Duofold Centennial Godron in gold, and it's a fine, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. Now the ink in here, I just need to double check, because I know it's one of only two inks it can possibly be, and I'm just double checking. Yeah, it's the one I thought it was. So this is, it could have been Diamine Ochre, but no, this is Ackerman SBRE Brown. Because I know I had two pens sort of roughly the same time I inked up. One was Diamine Ochre and one was Ackerman SBRE Brown. The next pen inked up is the Onoto Queen's Platinum Jubilee. So we'll do an ink swatch. And this is a very wet writing nib. So this is the Onoto Platinum Jubilee. I think the reason why it was called Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee, and not Queen's Jubilee, was I don't think they could use the word Queen. It had to be licensed. Same with King as well. It's a sterling silver. I'll put that in as well. And it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Majestic Purple, which I honestly don't think you could get much better. I kind of would like Diamine to either rename that Majestic Purple ink or duplicate it, exactly the same formula, and call it the Platinum Jubilee ink, because that would be perfect for me, and I would ink that pen up with that ink as well. The next pen inked up is the Onoto Coronation in sterling silver. So this, we'll do an ink swatch here. I have inked this up with a different ink than I used to ink it up with. So this is the Onoto Coronation sterling silver, and it's again a medium 18 karat gold nib, and the ink in here is Venusa's Aqua di Spargi, which I will continue to ink up that pen with. I think it's a perfect blue. I really do like the colour, and I love how it writes in that nib. The next pen inked up is the Montblanc Writer's Edition Jules Verne. So we'll do an ink swatch here, and you can see that this is a slightly a shade lighter of an ink. So this is the Montblanc Writer's Edition Jules Verne, and it's a medium and it's an 18 cat gold nib, and the ink in here is Waterman Inspired Blue. But that is a lovely light turquoise blue ink. This one's a slightly shade darker, but I still like both of those inks. The next pen inked up is the Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days. This is a special edition. We'll do an ink swatch here. And I'm really loving this ink. Normally I try to pair inks up with the colour of the pen. Exception being if it's a black or a silver pen. This is a black pen. I just really wanted an orange ink. And I know how good this ink is. So this is the Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days. And it's a medium and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Sailor Gentle Kin Makusai, which is a beautiful orange ink and replaces Sailor Gentle Apricot. The last pen inked up is the Montblanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this nib writes beautifully. It's not to say the other nibs do not, but it's just, this is my favourite nib. So this is the Montblanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen, and it's a medium 18 cat gold nib. This just is so lubricated, this ink with the nib. And then the ink in here is Pilot Iroshizuku Aji Sei, which is, it's just a perfect combination as far as I'm concerned. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. We have an Onoto Colt Pens exclusive Christmas Cowl in a broad steel nib inked up with Winter Whiskey Gold. We have a Majohn Titanium TI 136 in a medium steel nib inked up with Diamond Earl Grey. We have an Onoto University of Oxford in a medium 18 cat gold nib inked up with Lamy Mango. We have a Visconti Empire in a fine 18 cat gold nib inked up with Waterman Inspired Blue. We have a Parker Duofold Centennial Godron in gold in a fine 18 cat gold nib inked up with Ackerman SBRE Brown. We have an Onoto Platinum Jubilee in sterling silver in a medium 18 cat gold nib inked up with Diamond Majestic Purple. We have an Onoto Coronation in sterling silver in a medium 18 cat gold nib inked up with Venustus Aqua di Spargi. We have a Montblanc Writer's Edition Jules Verne in a medium 18 cat gold nib inked up with Waterman Inspired Blue. We have a Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days in a medium 18 cat gold nib inked up with Sailor Gentle Kin Makusai. And then last but not least, we have a Montblanc Jane Austen in a medium 18 cat gold nib inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Aji Sei. So there you have it. That's my Kony ink pens for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.